Let's go! Guy's sitting there playing with his phone at the green light. Sorry, folks. Good morning. It is Friday, February 15th, 2019, and I'm on my way into work, and I want to talk about this amnesty omnibus bill is the only way you could call it. It's a budget bill that was passed in the Senate and the House, I believe, yesterday, with Republican and Democrats both agreeing to fund the government. And key provisions in the bill spoke to specifically border security. The $5.6 billion or $5.7 billion that Trump wanted for his wall was reduced to $1.35 billion. And key elements of it with regards to border security have some very, very disturbing passages or pieces in it. In particular, folks who have brought minors across the border illegally who aren't the parents of that child are protected from prosecution for doing so, unless, of course, they have, felony warrants for past crimes regarding drugs and human trafficking, child pornography, that sort of thing. So unless they've been proven to be child smugglers, child exploiters, and criminals of felonious stature, they can't be arrested when trying to process undocumented minors. So the takeaway from this is, according to the detractors of this bill, it basically grants amnesty to 15 million illegal immigrants in the country. Another provision in the bill is that it restricts where the border wall or bollards can be built. In particular, the Rio Grande Valley, and in particular, only in areas that get approved by local authorities. And apparently some of the areas where it's needed are in towns where police and local officials have been convicted of accepting bribes from cartel. So these towns, these counties can say, no, you're not putting it up here, and Trump can't do a damn thing about it. Now, Mitch McConnell came out and said, the president intends to sign this bill, and he's also going to declare a national emergency. So, of course, the left and the media are freaking out about, he's declaring a national emergency, but he's not doing it for climate change or gun violence, because those aren't issues. People crossing the border illegally are an issue. Gun violence is trending downward. Not the same when it comes to drugs being smuggled over the border. There's been an increase in the number of drug overdoses thanks to fentanyl. And apparently 90% of all the fentanyl seized comes from the southern border. Either brought at ports of entry and smuggled in, or brought over between ports of entry by coyotes, cartel, people smugglers, that kind of thing. So, drug mules. Anyway, the Republicans, I mean, it shouldn't be surprising. The Republicans caved on this one. They basically cucked on it, as they say. But that shouldn't be surprising. It's disappointing, but it shouldn't be surprising. Not a one of them is truly behind the idea of strong border security, because they all benefit from weak borders, and they all secretly side with the idea that borders need to become a thing of the past. This is the globalist ideal, right? It's why their tune has changed in the last 6-7 years, when past presidents, Democrat and Republican, and past senators, Schumer in particular, has said we need border security, we need to stop illegal border crossing, yada, yada, yada. And they were emphatic about it. Now they're all of a sudden, it's immoral. We can't do this. It's not the way we do things in America. Anyway, if Trump signs this bill, he's got a few days to decide, I guess. But if Trump signs this bill, he's going to lose a lot of support. From me in particular. I mean, Ann Coulter is constantly, you know, sounding the alarm bells that Trump is being weak on border. Trump is, you know, failing in his promises, yada yada yada. And I mean, I disagree with a lot of what Ann Coulter has to say, but on this, if he signs this bill, I have to agree with her. He's proven to be ineffective on one of his main campaign promises, and one of the main issues that is facing the United States. It's facing Canada too. People coming in from the United States into Canada claiming refugee status because they came from Haiti or Somalia or some shit. Sorry, you don't qualify as refugees, but Canada and the Liberal government is so inept at handling this crisis at our border that it's just a cluster fluck. Anyway, I really hope he doesn't sign the bill. I really hope he does a 180 on this. I hope he says, look, I'm not going to sign the bill. I'm going to veto the bill. I'm not closing the government. You guys have to keep working. And I'm going to declare a national emergency. There's a couple of other things in the bill that I think were kind of disheartening. I'm trying to remember some of the elements. But those are the big ones. Those are the ones that are basically saying this isn't a border security bill at all. This doesn't have anything to do with border security. If anything, it's an amnesty omnibus bill. And I was like, when I heard about what was in the bill, I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's still got to pass the Senate. The Senate could, you know, basically strike things from it. But no, it passed both because McConnell's talking about it and Schumer's talking about it. Lindsey Graham's talking about it. And Lindsey Graham's going on news saying, well, you know, Nancy Pelosi, she said she was only going to give $1. Well, this is a lot more than $1. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi was joking when she said she would give $1. This is not a win for the Republicans. This is not a win for Trump because Nancy went back on her joke of only giving $1. Okay? Originally, the request was for, I think, $25 billion. And then he said, okay, you know what? We figure we could probably do it with $5.6 billion. I know construction, you know, he's using his bravado and bellicose style, saying, I know construction and we could probably get it done for a lot cheaper. 5.6 billion, that's probably good. Now 1.35 billion? Give me a break. Forget it. Oh, what was the other? Oh yeah, detention beds. So I guess ICE has all these facilities set up for when they catch illegal border crossers. And they have these beds. So apparently the beds are being cut, the number of beds, from where they are now to like 10, 12,000 less, something along those lines. And then they're going to shrink even further in another year's time. So as these giant migrant waves keep coming to the border and they're being taxed, ICE is being taxed with the, you know, arduous task of processing them all. They need to house them somewhere. And the bill says, oh, we're gonna pull the number of beds you have. We're gonna pull your ability to process these irregular migrants. That's what they're calling it now. Irregular migration. Not illegal immigration. They're not illegal aliens. They're irregular migrants. Anyway, I strongly hope that Trump does not sign this bill. If he does, he's going to lose a lot of support. And it'll be just like Reagan. I guess back in the day, Reagan promised amnesty for a bunch of illegal immigrants with the quid pro quo that there would be funding for border security or funding for a border wall, or they would close the border, that kind of thing. And he never got it. Now, a lot of people like Trump and think, yeah, he's the next Reagan. Well, if he does this, that's in some way true, right? Anyway, I'm at work now. Thanks for watching. President Trump, if you watch this channel, I know you watch this channel, President Trump. because all the best people do. Don't sign the bill. Do something else. Work your art of the deal magic, and don't sign the deal. Don't sign the bill. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all later. Have a happy weekend. And like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Tell all your friends. Tell a whole bunch. And take care.